Right now, I am joined in the studio by David, the coach with the cap from New Horizons Coaching and Mentoring. How are you?
Oh, very good. Thanks, Danny. Thanks for inviting me in.
Oh,
wonderful.
firstly, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
That's fine.
And you're always
Great.
smiley. I've met you a few times now. Such a smiley person.
Well, what's the point in not smiling? That's what I say.
Well, first question I have to ask you is, why coach with the cap?
Well, the coach for the cap, I mean, I've got this, as you can see, I'm wearing a cap at the moment.
Yes.
And, no, it's something that my son bought me a present going back last year, I think. And it was this cap. In Wales, we call them a dye cap.
Oh, okay.
And because I've got no hair...
It keeps you nice and cosy.
It keeps me wonderfully cosy. All the heat I was losing through my head is now being captured by my cap and coming through the rest of my body.
It's a part of you now.
It's now a part of me, absolutely. I think it's stuck to me.
You can't take it off now.
Absolutely.
Especially with the headphones on now. Right, the first question I now have to ask you properly and formally is, What is life coaching? Tell everybody out there, what do you do?
Well, I thought you might ask me that question.
How did you know?
I had a feeling you might ask that. So I came prepared. And what I've done, I've done a couple of my favourite definitions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I'm intrigued.
Shall I start? Absolutely.
Oh, start. Go for it.
I think, right, a life or a performance coach is someone who aims to help and empower other people to meet and exceed their personal goals.
Oh, okay.
That's number one. I quite like that one.
No, I quite like that one as well.
I've got more to come.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. Hit me with them.
How about this one? A life coach empowers and helps the client in reaching a level of happiness and contentment that needs from achieve their goals that they had dreamt of but had no or little idea on how to achieve. How's that?
I like that one as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a tongue twister, but I like it.
I think my tongue got twisted.
No, I like it. You seem very, very passionate about it. But I also have to ask, what is the difference between the different interventions like counselling and therapy? Is it different from what you do?
Oh, vastly, yes.
Okay, please explain.
There's a major difference. Well, first of all, let's talk about a therapist.
Okay.
What a therapist will do. A therapist might work with those people. Let's use the word damaged. And damaged due to a previous trauma or experience that they've had that makes their day-to-day living quite difficult.
Yeah.
It impacts on it. So that's what a therapist will delve into those problems, delve into the past. As far as a counsellor is concerned, a counsellor might work with someone who's feeling significantly distressed about something that again impacts on their daily life.
Daily living, yeah.
So those two problems, those two issues those interventions deal with mainly the past.
Okay. And so that they address the issues of people's past.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Absolutely. Now then, a mentor might work with somebody in a specific area, and that mentor that mentor might, he'll have knowledge and experience of a particular thing that might help that individual experience in that might give good tips.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Oh, so they give advice. Do you give advice then? Is that not what you do?
No. Coaches we don't suggest anything and we don't give advice.
Okay.
We firmly believe that the client or the person that we're talking to has all the potential they have inside them, has all the knowledge to go forward.
Like they have the answers almost.
They have the answers.
Okay.
What they don't have is the key to unlock that potential.
Okay, and obviously you're the ones that helps them find that key.
I can help them facilitate finding that key and then help them to move forward where they are now to where they want to be in any part of their lives.
Well, you're very, very passionate about what you do. What inspired you to get into this field of work? It's incredible.
Well, to be honest with you, Danny, let's going back 30 years.
Okay.
I've always dealt with people.
You're a people person.
I'm a people person. Without knowing it, for 30 years I've been coaching people.
Oh, wow.
In various
So it's come from
ways.
personal experience.
Absolutely.
Then.
I've been, and I've been a sales director of companies. I've been all about making people better.
Okay.
Now, I've dealt with, you can imagine, over those 30 years, that the people who've come to see me have had some very varying issues.
Yes,
from
I
the
can
more
imagine.
serious side of people really being in a bad place. On the other side of the scale, people who have been having it away. Fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
Life is so wonderful for them, but they have issues. And everything in between that, you can imagine the spectrum of everything in between that are all people orientated. It's not about bricks and mortar. It's not about profit. It's not about anything other than the individual and helping them to move forward, be a better person.
What types of issues do you have to deal with? Like, obviously you motivate and you help people realise that potential and that key to help them move forward as such. So what kind of can you give us any types of cases that you've had to deal with in terms of how you motivate people and what you have to do that?
Well, motivation is a major part of it, but not all of it.
Okay.
People have come to me, dear me, when I look back over the last 30 years basically. I mean, people have come to me that are in some way stuck.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't really know what the problem is. They just know that there's something more out there.
Okay.
And it's my job and a coach's job to actually pinpoint and dig a little deeper and find out what that issue is.
Okay.
And deal with that issue. You know, I've had people come to see me that have had trouble or issues with relationships. An awful lot of people that have come to see me about their confidence.
Yeah, you mentioned about having to help somebody move away to a different country, about how to help them tell their family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so stuff like that, you've had to help them realise this is the right way to do it, or...
Absolutely, yes.
I like that.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as confidence is concerned, it's amazing that when you look at confidence, you talk to people and they say, well, I've got none. I have no confidence. I'm not that type of person. I don't have confidence.
Yeah.
And it always interests me where they're so confident
about telling you
me they have no confidence.
So do you believe that everybody has confidence? It's just about maybe finding that key to help them unleash that confidence and do things that they need to do?
Absolutely.
Wow, okay.
Confidence is a habit. Confidence can be learnt.
Okay.
And there are some people. If you go back to your child, this could be back when you're 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years old. You can just imagine. There's some people say they're born with confidence. Some people are born without any confidence. Well, that's not true. You know, how confident is a baby in arms that if it cries, it gets fed, gets some attention?
Yeah.
I would say fairly confident.
I've never thought about it like that.
Absolutely. How confident is somebody that says to their parents, Dad, can I have an ice cream? No, you can't. Oh, please.
Well,
No,
you've got to be
can't.
confident to do that, yeah.
Oh, please. And they'll
Please?
keep on saying, oh, please, until they get it. So they're pretty confident in that. But just imagine while you're growing up, if you were told that you weren't good enough, you were always compared to other people.
Maybe a sibling, I understand.
Absolutely. And what happens is we carry those programs through our lives, through our whole lives sometimes.
Yeah.
And the confidence that has been knocked out of us at an age where we're really vulnerable, we carry through to 30s, 40s, sometimes all our life.
So how do you help people realise that and then help them with their confidence?
Well,
And if we sum it up quickly, we'll have a bit of a break and come back and ask you loads more questions.
with confidence, it's people think they're not confident, but people aren't confident in a particular area. They are confident in other ways, but there's normally something specific that they don't feel that they're confident in, and this could be something that happened to them when they were young.
Okay.
So we have to talk about that and just realize, and some wonderful confidence exercises out there that you can teach it, and the word transformation comes to mind with some of my clients that I've seen that have come to me in their body language is bad and there. You just have to look to them to see that they've got an issue here.
Yeah.
And how they almost metamorphosize from caterpillars to butterflies. It's fantastic.
Wow. Okay, well, look, we'll have a very quick break, come back, and I've got so many more questions for you. Are you prepared? That's the question.
I am ready.
We'll be right back. Thank you, David. We'll be right back.
Black Country Radio.
Welcome back to Black Country Radio. I am joined in the studio by David, the coach with the cap from New Horizons Coaching and Mentoring. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Great time.
Yeah, you've got to talk into the mic, David.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Sorry, yes. I've got to talk into the mic. I'm here.
Oh, I'm really sorry you haven't been able to have a cup of tea while you're here. We've run out of milk.
That's
I do
okay.
apologise.
I've had enough today. Don't worry about that.
But you didn't bring the biscuits that you promised.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
But I knew you wouldn't have any milk.
Oh, wow. So you're a psychic as well. Oh, no. Right, you mentioned before the break that you get some of your clients to practice confidence exercises. Can you explain what those exercises can involve? A few examples of what you'd get people to do?
Okay. Well, there are some great books out there that have these exercises. This particular one I like. It's a short one because we're time sort of we're held to a particular time here. In Paul McKenna's book, which is a great book full of exercises, he would get people to actually go into a room on their own, close their eyes, and just imagine opposite you was a slightly more confident version of yourself. So, have a look how they feel, have a look how their posture is,
Oh, right.
have a look how they're sitting. Now, I want you to float out of where you are into that body, look out through their eyes, and opposite you is a slightly more confident version of yourself. Again, the posture's improved. They're looking so confident.
I've never ever heard of anything like that. It's incredible.
They're looking so confident, so they float into that body. And guess what?
What?
Opposite them, there's a slightly more confident version of yourself.
Okay.
And we do this 5 or 6 times and just float and feel what they're feeling, see what they're seeing, and hear what they're hearing, so that at the end you have this wonderfully confident you, and capture those feelings that you felt by seeing out of that confident person's eyes, and just bring it back to yourself. That's a good one. It doesn't take any time at all. You can do that within minutes.
It's very interesting.
It is.
It is very interesting. Is that proven to work then?
It is. All these exercises, it would largely depend on how badly you want to change. But these exercises
Makes sense.
work. These exercises work. Another one would be where you imagine okay. So
it's okay. You can do it. Come on.
So it's just
I'm
about
coaching
looking.
You now. You can do it.
You're looking at someone you admire, someone maybe a newscaster, maybe somebody, but you admire the concert they've shown, and you see them on stage, and you float into their bodies, and you just see what they see, and take up their posture, hear what they hear. It's all about looking at people who have this confidence that you want, and becoming a part of it.
Wouldn't that maybe be argued? This isn't from my point of view. Maybe be argued as an alter ego, though. Maybe trying to be somebody else, or embodying somebody else's confidence.
You're not trying to be somebody else. What you're doing is you're inside their body, feeling what they're feeling. You can float out at any time.
Would that maybe be the key then?
But that's the key.
Okay. I understand.
Experiencing those feelings of confidence.
Very nice.
That's the key in coming back.
Wow, this is so deep.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
Do you have any examples that you can give us of clients, maybe cases that you've dealt with in the past? But give us a little bit of idea of the people you've worked with, like your cases.
Okay. Yes, the one that comes to mind, and I'm sure that they won't mind, I won't mention any names, obviously.
Of course.
But I had one person that had a wonderful job. That person was a lecturer. And all day that person stood in front of people, maybe 30, 40 people, and lectured to them. No confidence issues whatsoever. Was very happy in his position. So, everything was great until 4 o'clock, when that university finished for the day. That person would then come home and lock themselves in their house, not confident enough to even go out and say hello to people, just in case that person would want to start some form of conversation. Didn't have the confidence to see that they could go out and simply say hello to people. It's quite an intense case.
Oh, wow.
Quite an extreme case. Now, to cut a long story short, I think this took about 13, 14 sessions. So it wasn't a quick fix, this. There aren't any magic wands. There aren't any. It's all about practice, practice, practice. But within 13, 14 sessions, let me tell you, that individual now has a more productive social life, a better social life than you and I put together.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's fantastic, and you get so much pleasure from seeing this happening, from somebody being completely different to when you first met them. It's fantastic. It's a feeling it's a feeling you can't explain. You're seeing somebody metamorphose. I used that word earlier.
Yeah.
That the transition period and how people change so much into who they want to be. It's possible. We all can do it. We all have the potential to do it. It's that, as I said earlier, it's that key we don't have.
Do you have any more cases for us before we take another short break and come back?
Well, I've got some great cases.
I really don't. That wouldn't surprise me. Wow.
I've met all sorts of people, and one that comes up quite often is people who want to get fitter, who want to lose a bit of weight, and it's quite fascinating, really, that when you talk to these people, particularly on the weight loss side of it, they've tried all different diets with major successes. They've joined slimming clubs with major successes, but that success has been temporary. They've lost great amounts of weight, but they've put the weight back on. So, the problem is not losing the weight. The problem is finding out what helps them, what makes them.
And how do you solve that then?
Well,
you find the issue and then address it?
It's finding the issues. Very often there will be triggers.
Okay.
That will interfere.
Yeah, okay.
Will interfere and stop that happening.
Wow, have you got one more for us before we take a short break?
Well...
You've got so many, I can see the cogs moving.
People come to me. I'm a one person, because I deal with businesses as well.
Yeah.
That people who are stuck in their business, that they can't see what the problem is. All they know is there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
And when you dig a little deeper, it's very, very often a matter of communication.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier when we talked about it.
How members of staff, how people communicate with each other, because your understanding of communicating something to me could be completely different. I could take that completely different to what you meant it to be, and vice versa. I could say something to you that you took completely differently to what I meant.
And how do you solve that? That's really interesting.
Well, it's all about, because people are different. What people have to understand, that we all operate in different ways. Doesn't mean that we're good, doesn't mean that we're bad, we're just different to each other. So helping me to understand why you're acting in a particular way, and helping you to understand and see my perspective of it, and bringing people together to understand, well, maybe we're on the same side here, maybe we want the same thing.
Right, yeah.
And it's amazing how you can take people forward as soon as they understand that, wait a minute, everybody wants the same here, they just don't appear to act that way.
You're back here in the studio, joined by David, the coach with the cap. How are you doing? You all good?
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I'm having a great time.
Right, I have two final questions for you before you leave. But firstly, thank you so much for coming onto the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Now, I have to ask, who needs a life coach? For everybody out there that's thinking, I don't think I need one. Who needs one?
Good question.
It's a very good question.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions here, and you can tell me, or those people listening can tell me.
I can't answer them. Don't make me answer them.
Not you, yeah, okay. Those people can ask themselves this question.
Okay.
There's no need to tell whoever's with them. That's fine. So, first question then. Is your life currently where you wanted to be? Question 1. Question 2. Do you sometimes feel stuck, unfulfilled, or unhappy? Question 3. How much of your true potential have you achieved in your life? Good question, that.
Very good question.
Do you want to make real and positive changes? And finally, do you know what you want from your life? Now, if you can answer yes to all of those, you don't need me.
Okay.
If you can answer, well, maybe
50-50,
50-50, you need me. Because I'll sort you out.
That's very James Bond. You need me.
Absolutely. You need me.
Oh, well, I like that. And obviously, people, everybody who's listening, if they'd like to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Well, they can look on my website, which is thecoachwiththecap.com. Two the's. Thecoachwiththecap.
Thecoachwiththecap.com.
Or
oh, yes.
newhorizons.global. Either of those will take you to my website.
Okay.
And my telephone number is 0845 0942 567. And you can contact me by either of those.
Perfect. Thank you so much, David, for coming onto the show. I hope you have a lovely rest of the week.
Thank you very
And I'm sure
much.
we'll be hearing from you very, very soon.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
having
much.
me.
Thank you.
Bye.
We'll be right back after this break, everybody.